Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous hair bow style, and it only uses 8 small pieces of ribbon, believe it or not, because it's such a gorgeous design. It looks like it uses a lot more ribbon, and I love these type of bows where you don't need to use too much of your fabric. So I've got my ribbon already cut. I've also cut 2 1 centimetre wide strips, and this is one to wrap my hair clip and one to wrap the centre of the bow when we get to it. And I've got some fabric clips here to hold the ribbon in place as we're making our bow. You can use hair clips if you haven't got fabric clips, but I will link everything that I use in the description below this video to help you out. I've got this gorgeous rhinestone trim, and this is going to be used in the centre of the bow like I did on this one. I just think it finishes it off beautifully. And this comes in a strip like this. You can get different widths, and again I will link this in the description below. I've also got my hot glue gun, a lighter to heat seal the ends of my ribbon, and some super glue to stick on my gem centre. I'm just going to set these pieces aside for now, and we've got our 8 pieces of ribbon here. We've got these 4 pieces here, which are all 1 inch wide or 2.5 centimetres wide. You can also use 2.2 centimetre wide ribbon if you've got that. That would work also. And the length of this ribbon is 10 centimetres or just under 4 inches in length, and that is 4 pieces. And then these 4 pieces again are the same width, 1 inch or 2.5 centimetres wide. And these are cut to 8.5 centimetres in length or just over 3.25 inches in length, and that is another 4 pieces. First of all, I take a lighter and heat seal all of the ends of the ribbon. You want to do that on all 8 pieces, and this will just prevent any fraying and get rid of any frays that are already there. And then taking the 8.5 centimetre pieces, we're going to set those aside, and we're going to work on these 4 10 centimetre pieces first. Taking one of our 10 centimetre pieces, I'm holding it so the natural curve is facing away from me, and I'm going to take the top piece and fold it back over to the right. And then I'm going to bring this piece down and overlap this left side, and you want to leave around a 1 centimetre piece overlap just hanging out from this left side, so it looks like this. And then with this bottom in line, again taking my lighter, I'm just going to melt the fibres a little bit in that middle, just to melt those and hold them together. So it holds together like this. And then taking a second piece, again I've got the natural curve of the ribbon facing away from me. This time I'm going to do it the opposite way. So taking this top piece, I'm going to fold it back and out towards the left this time, and then bringing this piece over to overlap this piece, again leaving around a 1 centimetre overlap. You can use your other piece just to make sure that they're both the same, so about there like that. Again, using my lighter, I'm going to use the flame to melt those fibres, and then just carefully pinch them. Be careful not to burn yourself, because that does get hot when you melt the fibres, and that will just hold them together like that. So you've got your 2 pieces now the same, but they're mirrored, and you want them to be next to each other so that the 1 centimetre piece which is sticking out are both on the inside, and the piece that come round and overlaps at the top are both on the outside. So they're going to go together like that. And then the next two 10cm pieces, we're going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to take this top piece and fold it back out towards the right, and then bringing it down and overlapping this left side. I'll just show you that again. So when you bring this piece down, you don't want to fold it over. You want this piece, which is facing towards you, to stay facing towards you when you bring it down and overlap it. So don't fold it down like this. You want to bring it round and keep this piece here facing towards you. Same again, leaving a 1 centimetre overlap, and then using the lighter just to bond those two pieces together to hold them in place. And then the last piece, this time folding it out towards the left, and then bringing this piece, keeping this surface facing towards me, bringing it down and overlapping this right hand side, leaving a 1 centimetre overlap. Just checking that they're the same width, and then using my lighter to melt and bond those fibres together to hold it in place. And again, putting them together so that the piece which is laying over the top is on the outside, and the piece that is on the underside with the 1 centimetre is facing towards the middle. So you don't want them this way round, you want them to be this way round. So this is going to be one side of the bow, and this is going to be the other. I'm just going to set those two aside and then bring these 4 pieces in now. These are the 8.5 centimetre pieces. As I said before, I've already heat sealed all of the ends of these pieces of ribbon. So taking one of these pieces, this time I'm going to have the natural curve of the ribbon facing towards me, and we're going to fold this piece over to the right like that, and this time we're bringing it forwards over to the right rather than backwards over to the right. So bringing this top piece forwards over to the right, and this time instead of keeping it facing the same way, we're going to flip this over and then meet the ends together level in line. So we've got this opening on this left side, and this side you've got this sort of fold at the top here on the right. So with this opening on the left, we're going to take this piece here, which is on the right, and we're going to overlap this piece over the piece which is laying over the top here. So this piece which comes around and is laying on the top, and the open edge, we're going to slide that over, and we're going to meet this corner up with the corner of this top layer. And then I like to just turn it round at this point so I can line them all up straight along that bottom. You do have to manipulate the ribbon a little bit just to get those all to stay in line. And then once you've got these all in line, using a fabric clip, I'm going to pop that on there to hold those all in place. So it looks like this. So that is that piece done. And now we're going to make an overlay for this piece. So this time, taking the ribbon with the natural curve facing towards me, we're going to take this top piece the opposite way over to the left, again bringing it forwards and over to the left, not backwards over to the left. So bringing it forwards over to the left and folding this piece down to face this bottom piece and line it all up. So you end up with like this point with a little pocket at the top. And this time we've got the opening on the right hand side and the folded edge is on the left hand side. Taking this left loop now, we're going to overlap this over this piece here which is laying over the top. Just slide it in, meeting the corner up with the corner of that top layer of ribbon. Again, I just like to flip it over so I can then manipulate the ribbon to line up. Again, taking a fabric clip and popping it on there to hold those in place. So that is those two pieces now done for one half of the bow, and now we're going to do this other half of the bow. We're going to repeat those exact same steps. Natural curve facing towards me. This one comes forward out to the right and then folds downwards, lining up at the bottom so the opening is on this left side. Taking this piece of ribbon here, we're going to overlap this side, so tuck it in and then just flip it upside down to line them up, and fabric clip those, or hair clip if you've got hair clips, all in place. And then the last piece, natural curve facing towards me, taking the top piece, folding it towards me out to the left and then folding it down to meet at the bottom. Opening is on this right hand side. Taking the last piece, overlapping this top layer and lining them up at the bottom. And fabric clip them all in place. So that is our 4 pieces now ready, and now we can pop in our stitches along the bottom. So taking a needle, and I've threaded it with some extra strong thread and I've popped a knot in the end. Remembering to keep these together with the little 1 centimetre underlap on the inside, and these pieces with the overlap are on the outside. So that is one half of the bow and this is the other. So starting on this piece here, I'm going to pick it up, and I like to sew from right to left because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to go through this first corner first through the top, and we're aiming for 4 stitches altogether, 3 along this first piece and then the 4th one coming out through this corner. As you can see, it's slightly out of line, so I will just line those up before I start stitching. I'll line these corners up first and go in through the top all the way to the knot for my first stitch, and then bringing these ones together straight. My second stitch is going to come in the middle of this piece here, so in the middle from the bottom, that's our second stitch. Our third one is coming through the top, catching these corners. That's our third stitch, and then our 4th one coming up from the bottom through to the top on that last corner. So it looks like this, and then continuing with the same piece of thread, taking the second half. This time we're starting on this single piece of ribbon, so there are no layers. Again, going in through the top, And then as you can see, when I pull these together, it will bring these two together. So I'm not going to pull it completely tight just yet. Keeping it pinched with my thumb and finger whilst I remove the clip. Again, making sure we're all in line along the bottom. And then this time the second stitch is going to come up, catching all of these first corners. And then a third stitch is going to go in the middle of this piece here. So in the middle, again, I'm just making sure that they're all in line. Going through the middle, that's our third stitch, and then the fourth one, catching all of those last corners like this. And then when we pull this tight, that will bring them both together like that. And then when we pull it tight again, that will start to form that pinch along the bottom. And then making sure that this is all nice and flat and that's pulled in there tight. I like to then go through that last edge once, and then on this second go I like to go in, and before I pull it completely tight I'm going to go through this loose loop, and that will just form a knot to hold that all in place. So this is what it looks like at the top. This is the bottom. You want to make sure on the underside that these middle pieces are coming out straight and in line. So that's the underside of the bow, and this is the top side of the bow. Like that. And then you can trim off the excess thread. And then I'm just going to tie a knot in this side so I can use that thread again. And now we're going to do those exact same stitches on the other two pieces. 4 stitches, 3, and then 1, and then 1, and then 3, so 8 altogether in that whole side. So there are our 2 halves now ready to join together in the middle. I'm just using the lighter just to make that nice and flat, ready to join them together. And then taking my hot glue gun, I'm going to place some glue in the middle of one side and then bring those 2 halves together. And then next I'm going to take my clip. I am using a 45mm non-toothed double prong clip. You can use the toothed clip if you like them, but my daughter prefers these ones because she says that the toothed ones pull on her hair. So this is what I'm going to use. I've got my piece of ribbon here, which is 10 centimeters by 1 centimeter, and I'm going to wrap my hair clip with this. This is optional, you don't have to wrap your hair clip, but this is just something that I always like to do just to hide the metal hardware. And then I'm going to pop some glue on the end of the clip, not on the pinch part, and I'm going to stick this on the underside of my hair bow. And then taking my other 1 centimetre strip, again this is 10 centimetres by 1 centimetre. I'm going to wrap this around the centre. So I'm going to place some glue just on one end to begin with. Pop it under the clip, central to the bow. And on the first go round, making sure it's nice and tight, I hold it there in place with my thumb, and I like to just pop a bit of glue over where that join is, just to cover it with that centre strip, and I know that that is not going to slip or slide out of place. Continuing round for a second turn. Just going to trim off a little bit of that ribbon because it's a little bit too long. Heat seal the end and then finish this off by popping some glue on that end and gluing it under the clip. Like that. And now I'm going to add that beautiful gem centre to finish it off. Now you can get these gems as hot fix gems, but these ones are self-adhesive. They've got this white backing which you peel off and then they stick on their self. It is quite a strong self-adhesive, but I don't like to rely on that alone. So I do use my Gorilla Super Glue gel just on the ends and a dab in the middle. If you do buy the hot fix ones, then I would use some hair straighteners and pop it on the centre strip before adding it to your bow. But if you buy the self-adhesive like these ones, then I like to add this part last. So I'm peeling off this white protective backing which reveals this sticky strip. I'm going to pop some of this super glue in the middle first, so just a dot in the middle, and then I'm going to pop that in the middle first, and then making sure it's straight, I then take it round, and this is where the self-adhesive will stick. But I'm not going to push the ends down because this is where I like to add a bit of glue just to make sure that that does stay in place. So being careful not to get any glue on my ribbon. I'm just taking it along the very end of that strip on both sides. And I just hold them down for a couple of seconds just to make sure that that super glue takes. And there is your finished hair bow. Isn't that gorgeous? And like I said at the start of the video, you would never have thought that these only take 4 small pieces of ribbon. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. Don't forget that everything that I've used in this video today is all linked in the description below. Thanks for watching. Bye.